Hey everyone, it's Mr. October. If you're watching this video, you've likely already finished or at least started Under the Lake Part 2. I'll be openly discussing spoilers from Part 2, if you can call them that, so if you haven't, go check it out. This channel update will be really quick and split into two parts. First, I'm going to briefly give a list and description of the next 6 to 8 planned scripted videos. Then I want to sort of give a bit of context to the channel, what my goal here is, why I'm here, etc. Upcoming projects. Under the Lake Parts 1 and 2 covered the original Friday the 13th film timeline, i.e. 1980's Friday the 13th all the way to 2003's Freddy vs. Jason. But we all know about the tie-in novels, comics, and the 2 video games, and I know you're dying to know how they fit in, if at all, just like I am. Well, I can say now that Part 3 will cover the comic books, while Part 4 covers the novels. I'm still in the early scripting stages for both, so time will tell if the video games get lumped into one of those videos or given its own Part 5. On screen is everything I plan to look at in Under the Lake. There is also the 80s TV series, which I promised we'd look at. I watched a lot of the series, it's actually pretty good. The problem is that while there are some very minor things I did notice that were worth mentioning to the overall Friday the 13th plot, in the end it didn't feel like it could constitute a whole chapter, and I felt like I was just trying too hard and stretching material too thin. I really would just be rambling about an unrelated side story that could maybe tie into Jason's story here and there as it relates to curses, rebirth, and the afterlife. If you'd be interested in seeing that, let me know. When can we expect parts 3 and 4? Well, 3 could be as early as December, but 4 will not be coming this year, as I intend to commission an artist to create some key art for characters and scenes from the novels, which have no visual aids, being text and all. If you're an artist looking for an extended collaboration, or if you know someone who is, please let me know. What can we expect outside of Under the Lake? 1. Was it the boogeyman? Like with Under the Lake, this is an overly dramatic narrative analysis, this time for the Halloween franchise. Part 1 will cover the Cult of Thorn timeline branch, and every subsequent part will cover a new timeline branch. Also, like with Under the Lake, there will be a fun little gimmick. Under the Lake's gimmick was flat out ignoring the majority of popular timelines in favor of something fresh, but as you probably know, Halloween doesn't have as messy of a timeline, so the gimmick will be something else entirely. I have a couple gimmicks actually, one of which could be huge if I manage to pull it off, so fingers crossed. 2. Exploring the death curse, or the Mother Vessel theory. This will be a shorter video like my Sweet Revenge timeline placement theory, probably no more than 15 to 20 minutes long, that goes into more detail on Jason's origins, first with what we concretely know, then what we can infer, and finally my interpretation of that origin, complete with heaps and heaps of circumstantial evidence. If you've watched Under the Lake Part 2, then you know what general theory I'm referring to. 3. Unnamed Maniac Cop timeline video. This one will be pretty straightforward thanks to there being only 3 Maniac Cop films, but you can expect the same level of research, plus it's one of my favorite slasher series ever. 4. War of the Dark Hearts, building the ultimate slasher-verse. Probably the video I'm most excited for, and the most niche thing I have planned and might ever do, wherein I explore what a possible shared slasher universe could look like, primarily how it could work from a storytelling perspective as well as a movie production perspective. This hypothetical film franchise would be using fresh takes on 7 of the most thematically similar slasher franchises: Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, Hellraiser, Maniac Cop, and Wishmaster. I know Hellraiser is not a slasher movie, but many of the sequels starting with the 3rd film are, and the Hell Priest is commonly thrown in with the big 3, so it fits. Channel backstory, aka why does a Halloween themed channel have so much Friday the 13th content? None of that is intentional, that's all on me. This channel has been many things, a Let's Play channel, a channel for my music, then eventually an archive for Halloween franchise promo material and my web novel. But a few years ago, after spending too many hours typing thousands of words about my favorite slasher franchises on Reddit, yeah, I'm one of those people, And after enough people told me I should consider publishing my thoughts in some way, I decided to combine my skills in writing with my love for long-form YouTube documentaries into, well, this. The Haddonfield Registry, a place where slashers get the same love and respect and are treated with the same reverence as any other corner of geekdom. So, the name and iconography is a holdover from when I was just a Halloween archive channel, but is now a nod to my favorite slasher franchise. And then, because I already do this kind of stuff for fun, and because Friday's timeline is messier and more fun to play around with than a lot of others, I just happen to be pretty far along with my own take on an F13 timeline that it became the most logical first video to focus on. All my other video ideas, the short theories and the news show I do, those are just other things I'm doing for fun. That's really the whole point. So, TLDR, the Haddonfield Registry is home for all slashers of all eras, and Friday the 13th is trendy right now. That's pretty much it. Thank you all for the support. I love reading all your comments, even if I don't get around to answering them all. It gets harder and harder each day to keep up, but I still try. For the Haddonfield Registry, I'm your host, Mr. October, aka Slasher with an X. Good night.